today we're talking about trauma. And I just want to talk a little bit about what trauma is, because I feel like a lot of people just think these are like trauma are these big, huge life events. Like, definitely, Jackie, like losing somebody is definitely trauma, but trauma can also be small events where we just have really big emotions. Um, so it doesn't have to be a huge event, just a huge emotional response. Trauma is manifest into different types of diseases or disorders. Like a lot of people will experience anxiety or even like aches and pains on the body. Um, Trauma can even manifest into like major diseases like cancer and that type of thing too. So it's really important that we learn how to like deal and release the trauma. It's a really intense emotion, and it could be something silly, right? Like I'm in third grade, I raise my hand, the teacher laughs at me, or no, I ask a question, the whole class laughs at me, and even the teacher, and I was like mortified. And like from that time on, I developed this belief that nobody cares what I have to say. And because I stuffed that emotion down, now it's lodged between two of the layers of my energy body. So energy can't freely flow back and forth anymore. So it gets blocked, and then that's how it starts to manifest into other ways that hurt us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so.
Okay. So then I just wanted to talk a little bit about ego too, because I feel like it just gets a bad rap, right? Like we need our ego, and it has a purpose. Our ego is not bad, it's not good or bad. It just is. Its job is to keep us safe. So the way that it does that is it's strange the way that it does that, but the way that it does it is by like keeping our trauma and our trapped emotions like right at the surface. So like it doesn't let you forget the pain. Like I was talking about that trauma loop. So where hold on, I lost my spot here. Yeah, so it almost never lets you forget the pain. And when that trauma loop gets activated, it puts our body, our whole awareness right back to that original state where we picked up the trauma. So like let's say I am at work now as an adult and I ask my boss a question, and he might like not actually be laughing at me, but I might like notice a smirk or something like that. And then I get all like crazy embarrassed again. I like go right into inside myself. It takes me right back to that third grade little girl. And that's what we need to learn how to release, right? Um, so yes, the ego will have us in a trauma response. Yeah, so it's really important to be aware of what triggers you and to be aware of what a trauma response is. Because when we start to notice these things, we can just noticing it will help you release it. Being like, oh, I don't know if that is something I should be this upset about. Like, is this from this, or does this feeling remind me of anything else from my past? I feel like a lot of the things that we're dealing with as adults is like recreations from things in our childhood. So, why does that matter? So trauma creates blocks and limiting beliefs when we push our emotions down and don't allow ourselves to really feel them. It prevents us from growing and expanding. It keeps us safe, but really stuck in what's comfortable. So new is scary to the ego. So even in a painful situation, like for example, somebody who's dealing with an addiction, let's say, they're going to go through all of this stuff and fight to pull themselves out of it, and then 2 weeks later they're back to using again. Why is that? Like they got themselves out of it because their ego is more comfortable in what it knows. Like the new is scary and it doesn't want to do that. It's comfortable even in the misery. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? No?
Yeah.
All right. So releasing trauma and trapped emotions. So this is how like the kind of like the steps we want to take to do this, right? So we want to stop, like when we feel that intense emotion come up, we want to stop and we want to name the emotion. Like, wow, I'm feeling anxiety. We're going to focus on that feeling, and then we're going to find it in our body. So, wow, I'm really feeling a lot of anxiety and I feel it in my chest. And then once you focus on that, if it helps, you can like give it a shape. You can give it like a sensation, like tar or stick or whatever works for you. And you're going to focus on that emotion, and then we're going to turn it up. We're going to pay attention to any thoughts or emotions that come up, and then we're just going to feel it kind of melt away. We're not going to try to push it. But shadow work is basically when we bypass the conscious mind to get to the subconscious. A lot of talk therapies and stuff, people will be in talk therapy for like years because they don't have a conscious awareness to what's holding them back. So a lot of times we have to bypass the conscious mind to get deep enough to get to the real trauma so that we're not just covering it up, we're actually healing it at the root cause. A lot of times, like I said, it'll be in our childhood, but it could also be like ancestral or in the DNA, so things that are passed down through the family, and also past life. So what's really cool about the DNA or ancestral memories is that if we go in and start doing shadow work and we have things that come up that are from past life or, brought down through the family, we can be the ones to actually break that cycle going forward. So if I'm in a family where it's like everybody's an addict, for example, I can go and heal my trauma and what made me an addict, because most likely we're going to end up back in a past life if this is something that's gone on through generations and generations. And we can be the one to break the cycle, which is super exciting. And if anybody does need help with this, feel free to reach out to me. This is what I do. I work with mostly empaths, helping to release trauma and limiting beliefs. Okay, so blocks around psychic abilities. So I just want to tell this story because this is kind of like just my experience. So what happened to me? So when I was 6 years old, I can remember being a kid and like knowing who was going to call when the phone rang, and this was like way before caller ID, or knowing what song was going to come on the radio next, or like that type of thing. And I walked up to my mom one day, and I remember this like vividly. She was in the bathroom, she was doing her makeup, and I walked in and I sat on the toilet and we were talking, and I said, and I was like really nervous even asking this question, but I said, Mom, do you think I could be psychic? Because, sometimes I know what song comes on the radio next, or, who's on the phone or whatever. She laughed so hard. I was like, forget it. Never mind. That was so stupid and ridiculous. How could I ever think such a silly thing? And like from that point on, completely shut myself off. So I had to release trauma around that in order to open up my psychic gifts, because I shut it down. So there's different like limiting beliefs we can test in order to see what blocks we have around psychic abilities. Like receiving is one. Like, do you feel guilty when you're getting a gift? Or any subconscious doubts around psychic or spirit work? Do you believe that you can develop psychic abilities? Do you have any fear around being judged for your abilities? So if you like feel any sensation or anything in your body when you're asking yourself this, there's probably some trauma that needs to be cleared around that. So the way we're going to find these answers is by muscle testing. Does anybody know what muscle testing is?
No clue here.
Okay.
None.
Okay. All right. So that's really exciting then, because this is super exciting. I use muscle testing for like literally everything. What vitamins are good for my body? What emotions do I need to clear? It's almost like making your body a pendulum. And the belief around this is when we say something true or positive, our aura will expand, and that causes us to lean forward. We're not trying to make ourselves move. It's almost like a magnetic pull that you'll feel. And then if we say something negative or false, it contracts our aura and we'll lean backwards. So this is a really good way to like test your body or your beliefs or anything really that, anything else you could think of.
Oh, I must be seeing something too, because I'm leaning forward hard. I didn't realize that.
You can use a pendulum too. Like you don't have to do the sway test, but I feel like that one works the best. And the experience of it is just really cool. Let me show you this little thing here. Can you guys see the other thing that just popped up, or are you only able to see the PowerPoint? No. Okay. Can you see now the sway test?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the sway test is basically, I'm just going to stand up and show you. and I'm going to look straight ahead, but my eyes are going to be closed. Like you want to make sure you're not looking at a wall with like a lot of things on it. Is I'll just close my eyes and I'll say, my name is Danielle. My name is Danielle. My name is Danielle. My name is Danielle. And you'll start to feel that pull. Then I'll say, my name is Bob. My name is Bob. My name is Bob. And I'll start to feel the pull back. So you just want to do that every time before you get started with your muscle testing to make sure that your energy is like lined up properly. Because they say you should face north, but you don't necessarily have to if that lines up. So if you end up getting like a no for your name, then you'll just flip around. Does that make sense? Website, but here I can put it in the chat too. You just get the link. Yeah. Copy. There we go. All right, there's one. And actually, the sway test form doesn't look like it's on here yet, but I will do that next, or after this is over, I'll add it. So you should be able to find that then when you go to the actual website, like not the Facebook page. There's a section that says study guides, and it'll be under the psychic sensitivity training class.
And that's on the Divination website, correct?
Yes, right.
Okay.
But did you get them in the chat here? Were you able to see them?
I can see them in the chat. I just don't know if it's like I can just pull them up and stuff.
Yeah, you should be able to.
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can their PDFs. So is it? I just do one. Resistance numbers worksheet. The same one.
Oh yeah, there were supposed to be two.
There's just one.
All right, let me try to get this one. Hopefully this is the right one now. Yeah, this one's different. So this last one I'm sharing is just like a workbook for you to start doing some shadow work stuff on your own. The first one is like all the worksheets for the class today. And then I will definitely add on the website the muscle testing sheet. I'm going to write that down. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to muscle test you guys for some common beliefs, or you guys can muscle test yourselves for some common beliefs around developing your psychic abilities. So that is the page that says developing psychic abilities or muscle testing sheet. But I'll pull it up here in case you guys don't have it downloaded. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the beliefs that we're going to test. And there's some blank spaces at the bottom. If you want to like put another one in there, you can test yourself for anything, like I said. So do you guys want to do this like live together?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you can use a pendulum or you can stand up and we'll start the sway test. So you'll just want to make sure that you all take a minute just to make sure you're properly calibrated and make sure you're swaying forward for your name and then backwards for a name that's not yours.
What if we don't have the space for that?
So if you don't have the space to stand up and do that, that's fine. Do you have a pendulum?
I don't own one now.
Okay, that's completely fine too. You can make a pendulum literally with anything. So here's like a washer on a string, or they used to use, like back in the day, like during the witch trials and all that, they would use a strand of their hair and like their wedding ring because they couldn't be seen with like anything like that. So So you can literally do anything. It won't take away from like the fact that it'll be still right. Sorry, like could not get that out.
Okay. I'll grab a necklace then.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as there's like a weight on the end of it, you'll be fine. And just let me know when everybody's ready.
Are we doing this on video?
You don't have to put your video on, but you definitely can.
My CD is a little necklace.
If you put your video on, you could just, like, I can tell you what I see too. But you don't have to. This is recorded too. I know somebody came in who was not here in the beginning. So just so you know, this is being recorded.
Yes, that's me.
Okay. All right. So has everybody muscle tested for their name?
I'm this is all.
I'm sorry.
I got mine.
All right. Awesome. So then you'll want to just actually, if you're going to use your necklace, let's start by doing this, right? You want to make sure your pendulum is kind of programmed to go do this. But if you're using your pendulum, you're just going to say, you're going to clear your mind. We talked about grounding and centering a bit last week, so you can do that real quick. And then you'll just say, show me a yes.
Show me a yes.
Is that going
forward? Do you
forward?
do this every time, or is your yes always going to be the same with your same pendulum?
That's a good question, and I feel like there's different beliefs around that. So I would say more listen to your intuition. I tend to do it every time because I'm like just need to make sure. That's just who I am. But you don't have to. If every time you test it, it's always, let's say, forward for yes and in a circle for no, then you could just have that intention with your guides or spirit or whoever is on the other end of this pendulum. That's your arrangement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then for no, sometimes it'll go right to left or sometimes it'll go in a circle. So then you'll just say, show me a no. And if you're muscle testing with your body, like I said, forward will be yes and backwards will be no.
So what if it just stands still? It doesn't do anything.
So do you mind if I ground you real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just close your eyes for me. Take a deep breath. Also, if you're struggling still after this, you might just need to drink some water. When we're dehydrated, it's tough for the energy to move within us, through us, and around us. How is it now?
I mean, it looks like it's just standing there.
I'm
not exactly sure what to...
All right, do me a favor and go get a drink of water.
Okay.
And it might have real minute movements.
Yeah.
I think minute counts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it won't like sway really big, but as long as it's a little forward or a little circle or a little back and forth, then you should be good.
So this is the first time I've actually even pulled my pendulum out of the box.
Oh, no way.
Weird. Yeah, I was always like nervous to use it because I didn't know a damn thing about them. But it's definitely, they're really tiny movements. But and it's like I'm not moving it, but it is definitely showing a clear, small, tiny yes or a small, tiny no.
Yes, and I feel like too the more so it's just like your tarot card, Sharon. The more you use it, the more energy will be running through it, the more it'll start to move.
So should I ask it a question again to see if it gives me a yes or no answer?
So did you say show me a yes and then show me a no?
Yeah, that's before you tried to ground me and it didn't do anything.
Okay, so try that one more time and then you'll say, my name is Jackie, and make sure it goes yes.
Show me a yes.
Oh wow, it looks like it's pulling to to the side, like it's pulling, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Looks like it's being pulled from the bottom.
So that's what it looks like. Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's your yes. So you'll just want to remember that.
So it's going down?
Well, it wouldn't be up or down. It'll just be like the actual motion. Like, was it back and forth, up and down, in a circle?
It looks side to side.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is that what you feel like too, Jackie?
Yeah, like it was being pulled towards me.
Yeah, okay. So that will be your sign for yes. So now do the same thing and say, show me what no looks like, or show me a no.
Show me a no. And it's not doing a thing.
I'm glad that you said the thing about anything being a pendulum pretty much. I actually haven't bought one, but I had this little anklet that broke on me a while ago, and everything in me told me to keep it, and I actually used it as a pendulum the first time yesterday. So.
Yes, that's awesome. That's cool. I love it. That's so cool.
So this is like a little tiny like rope, like do we just get like a little charm and stuff on?
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's some weight on it. If the charm's too light, maybe a ring would work.
I don't have one of those either.
Or like a
washer. Very simple.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like everyday type objects. A paper clip. Do you have a paper clip?
I do.
That might be a little heavier than the charm.
So just stick the paper clip on the charm?
Yep. We're gonna weigh it down.
Could it possibly be partially how you hold it too?
She seemed like she was holding it okay. You could maybe just choke up on the string a little bit so it's not like so long. That was a good thought too, Amina.
We put 2 on there. Hopefully that will help.
Perfect.
Okay. So show me yes.
Do you see it moving?
A little bit, but I don't know if it's because I'm like shaky or.
So if it helps too, you could like plant your elbow like on a table or your leg.
Show me yes.
It looks like it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's going towards the computer screen.
Okay. So now say, show me a no.
Show me a no.
Oh, for now then.
Right, and you're getting that feeling too, so that's good.
And so then I would say, my name is Jackie.
Yep, and then see if it does the same thing for yes.
See, it's going towards the computer screen now.
Okay, and that was your yes, right?
Yeah.
Good. So then we'll know that towards the computer screen is your yes, and then if it doesn't do anything or it goes in any other way, that will be your no. But you also have that feeling too that you're getting, so pay attention to that. That's important.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so is everybody like properly calibrated now?
I think so.
Okay. I believe so as well.
Okay, awesome.
I'm gonna show my screen to turn it on.
Hi.
Oh no, turn mine on, but nobody. If your computer breaks, I swear to God, it's not my fault.
I can't even see myself. I don't use Zoom very often.
That's okay.
Oh, can you move your camera down?
Yep, perfect.
Can you guys see me? Is it?
Yeah, we can totally see you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yep. Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is it on my face or is it on my pendulum? I can't tell.
It's on your face.
It's like from here to here.
I'm trying to get my pendulum in there, but I don't want to put it too much further down because I got no bra on.
You see, that's fun. Like I have to grab my.
You guys are lucky. I don't want a bra on. Okay. So the first belief we're going to test here is I am open to receiving. So you're just going to hold your pendulum or stand up and muscle test and say, I am open to receiving.
I am open to receiving.
Wow.
I am open to receiving.
Mine looks a little hesitant, not going to lie.
That's okay.
Mine jumped right in.
As a yes?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which surprised me.
Right? Yeah, that surprises me for you too.
It's giving me no and then it's giving me yes.
Okay. So you might just have like, right, you might just have like a conflict going on. Like there's a part of you who is and there's a part of you who isn't. And that's okay.
And I definitely need to change that though. I want to be more open, but I kind of knew that one.
That's something honestly I've always struggled with too.
Mine. It's like it's not minute anymore.
Good. So then you'll want to, like, on your sheet, just make a note of what answer you got there, because we're going to keep track of the beliefs that we need to clear. Like for me, I'll just write, so I'm open to receiving, and then I got a yes, so I just write a Y for a yes, just nice and simple. Then just let me know when you guys are ready. I don't want to rush anybody.
And real quick. Okay.
All right.
I'm back and ready if you guys are.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
Thank you. Awesome. Are we still waiting on anyone? No? Okay. So the next one is people will judge or criticize me for being psychic. So people will judge or criticize me for being psychic.
People will judge or criticize me for being psychic.
What would you get? Tell me you got a yes. Did you get a yes?
I got a no.
Oh.
Which really, bullshit.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call BS on that one too, because I know people judge me for that.
Well,
I gotta know.
So it's not about if they actually do.
To the point where I don't give a shit.
I think it's if you care or not.
Right.
Yeah, right. Everyone's going to judge.
Right. So it's more like, is you caring about that going to prevent you from developing or building your psychic abilities? People will always talk, but it's more how it makes you feel. Does that make sense?
Okay, let me ask you if I care.
Okay.
I can answer that one already. I think that's what I like about you too.
Right? I love it.
So that question basically is instead of us asking will people judge us or criticize us? Because my answer came up no. It's should I care about it?
You could ask that way. I guess my mindset when I was writing it was like, these are beliefs, right? So if you have a belief that people will judge and criticize you, that's going to prevent you from opening up to that belief. So we're not asking if other people actually are going to. We're asking if we're carrying that belief. If I do this, people are going to judge me.
See, because that was one of my biggest traumas, period. But I think I've gotten past that where I'm like, to hell with y'all.
Right. Yeah, that was really hard for me too. That was like, I still struggle with that sometimes. Like, who do I tell? Who can I be totally honest with?
Should I care about what people judge me or criticize me for being psychic?
And what did you get?
I'm getting a no. Good. That I shouldn't care.
You definitely shouldn't.
I mean, subconsciously, I think deep down inside, everybody cares about people judging them. But
I'm like, do I scared, or does it keep me from getting skills?
You know, if they ain't judging us for that, they're judging us for something else.
Such a good point.
So, yeah.
Such a good point.
They're always going to be judging.
Yep. I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to have to hop back in a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Thank back. You. Hope everything's okay.
So what do you guys think about that one?
I got to know for the second one. Should I care? It's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, I'm getting a no on that one, too.
Good, good. All right. So the next one is, I am not good enough. So again, this is a belief. So do you have the belief? Maybe this is a better way to ask. Do I have the limiting belief that I am not good enough?
Okay.
All right. Do I have the limiting belief that I'm not good enough? I'm not good enough.
Okay, we're not surprised by that one.
Okay, mine's going forward. I don't like that answer.
You don't like that answer?
I got the yes, too.
Yeah, I struggle with that one a lot, too.
That one matters.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, the next one, is everybody good if I continue?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll never be as good as other psychics. Do I have the belief that I will never be as good as other psychics?
Got it in the wrong hand, it's already saying. You know what it's saying.
Mine started going forward, and it was like, yes, no, yes, no.
I'll never be as good as other psychics.
I got a big fat no.
No.
I'm actually going a little forward on that one.
Good.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Wait, so I'll never be as good as any other psychic. So if you have that belief, so if you say, I'm like, sometimes I have to think about that. I'll never be as good. So no will be, you're not carrying that belief. So maybe you actually want a yes on this one. Wait, I'll never be as good as any other psychic.
I'm not carrying that belief, but right. I'm worried that might just be arrogance.
No, it's not arrogance. You need the confidence. Not arrogance, confidence.
Okay. Well, obviously I got the damn confidence.
Okay, the next one is I am open to healing. And this is relevant because you need to be open to healing these limiting beliefs in order to develop them, obviously. So I am open to healing.
I am open to healing. See, that one's definitely going forward on that one.
Good. That's what we want to see.
Mine was going diagonal. Now it's going in circles.
What is your...
It's going diagonal.
What is your no? Is that a circle or back and forth?
My no is back and forth, and my yes is left to right, and it's going wonk, 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 wonk.
So that might be, you can ask again if you'd like, but that might be like the same thing. Like you have conflicting parts of you. Like there is a part of you that feels like that's good. You're open to healing, but there's a part of you that maybe isn't. There might be like some resistance there.
Yeah, it's diagonal. I stopped it. So.
Okay.
Is that like when my mom always told me that God answers every question, but it's either yes, no, or maybe?
I was going to say, maybe it's a maybe. So that can be one that we can work on with the next thing that we do, too, if you want.
Oh, cool. This is fun, Danielle.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
So is it possible for, like, these little thingies to be broken?
The pendulum?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, how do you mean?
Like, I've never... Every time I've gotten ready to take the class, I was never able to take the class. I don't even know, like, what... I should just buy one off the internet, how that works, you know.
Yeah,
I just don't want it to not work for me and be like, hey.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what you're asking.
You know what? I was going to say, when I did the pendulum class like a month ago, and they told us at the beginning, sort of as a kind of a respect thing, is to ask, will you work with me today before you start? And you need to get the yes. So maybe it's not a yes day for you. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a sucky day for me today.
It's a what?
It's a sucky day for me today.
It for the pendulum?
No, for the whole day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think it's just because I'm not exactly, I'm not on the same level as like everybody else is learning as far as like the beliefs and stuff. I'm just starting out. So for me, it's just like, okay, I can ask these questions and I can see it move.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm interested.
For what? Oh, no, you're good. You're totally good. All right. So what everybody else get for that one?
Got it, yes.
Yay. Yay. Okay. I have to keep this part of me a secret. That one's going back and forth for me.
Do what?
That one was going back and forth for me. Like yes and then no, and then yes and then no.
Yeah. I have to keep this part of me a secret. That's definitely pulling forward.
Right. So that'll be one we can work on for sure.
I think that has a lot to do with, that whole judging thing, being burned at the stake alive,
Yeah, right. And like
Absolutely.
let's get
That's
like even
the
deeper.
sad part about it,
Yeah, I guarantee you, well, a lot of people who get involved in this type of thing were probably burned at the stake at some point, like in a past life. Like there's a reason we're attracted to this stuff, right? So I'm sure that deep in our subconscious, we have a lot of fear around that because it's happened to us somewhere in a past life.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
When mine was a no for people will judge me because it was 30 years ago when I had to leave the Marine Corps because they were throwing rocks at me and kicking me in the stomach and saying my baby was the Antichrist because of my tarot cards.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm so sorry.
Right?
It's very traumatic. It was very bad. I mean, I'm part of the military too, so I know how that goes. But that's a shame that they did that to you. I am so sorry. I feel that pain. Yeah. And it's still, oof. So,
like takes your breath away
but
sometimes.
I've pretty much gotten to where it still hurts, but I'm at the point where that just hurts to ask.
I know.
Because it goes forward, and I don't like seeing that.
You don't. Why does that make you uncomfortable?
Because it's saying yes. Yeah. It says yes.
You're not special. So you have that belief.
It's a question that I don't like having to answer to. I think just because deep down inside we all want to admit that we're special, but in reality, our minds are not always telling us we're special. Exactly. We're our hardest critics, and I will be the very first person to say I am flawed in so many ways. Mm-hmm. But to see it actually move in a direction that I don't want it to move, that just irritates the crap out of me.
Right.
But mine's not moving at all.
What do you think that means? What do you feel like that means?
I have no idea.
So the reason this one's in there is because a lot of people are under this impression that you need to be born special. You need to be born with these gifts. And I just want to encourage everybody who wants to build these abilities. You don't have to be born special, in quotations, or with these gifts. Everybody has this inside of them, and everybody can build it. So you don't have to be born special. Anybody can build this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The next one's a big one too. I trust myself.
Ooh. Trust myself. Okay, I don't like that answer either.
What did you get for that one?
I got a no.
That's okay. A lot of us are like that, right? A lot of us have a hard time trusting ourselves.
Totally not.
Yeah, so it's almost like you're feeling like that feeling that we would be muscle testing for. Instead of that pull forward or backwards, you're feeling your energy pull anyway. So, I mean, I feel like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is because I've always done like, if I've ever helped anybody out with like my best friend, he's my twin, I call him. Whenever he has issues or whatever, I can actually kind of go to him and just give him energy, and no matter where he's at.
Yeah.
So for me to feel that energy, I can feel it more than I can see it.
Yeah. Well, then maybe that will just be your thing, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't have to use a pendulum at all.
It's frustrating. Like I said, I don't like.
Once you learn to trust it, though,
right?
And it's good you're getting the honest answers, because that means you can work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you have to come to every class, Sharon.
Okay.
Okay. So this is similar. The next one? Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's still going.
I gotta know for I trust myself.
No way.
Yeah. But I'm always second guessing myself too, so I'm not too surprised at that.
Right. So do you
Got
feel
that
like
Virgo energy going on?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're a Virgo?
No, I'm a Leo, but I have Virgo and Venus, how I deal with people, so I'm always second guessing myself.
Oh, okay.
So do you feel that, like, second guessing yourself when you're doing like your readings and your astrology and all that, because you're so...
No, because I'm not myself when I'm doing my readings
right.
or my astrology. I'm channeling.
Okay, yeah, I could totally see that.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, 100%. That was a beautiful answer.
Mine has given me a no as well. On the I trust myself. Also, I'm back.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome back.
So anybody who got I trust myself got a no for that, I would recommend that is the one you start with.
What do you mean by start with, like as far as when we go through?
So when we start to try to clear these beliefs, I'm going to take you through an exercise next to help you like clear these beliefs. You could pick one at a time. So I would just start with that one for the first one, because I feel like everything kind of builds upon that, like building that trust in yourself. So the next one's kind of similar. I trust my intuition, but I was just curious if anybody would get a different answer.
Yeah, I got a big resounding yes for that.
Good.
Wow.
So isn't that interesting? You have all the trust in the world in your intuition, but not in you. Right?
Funny how that works.
See, mine's moving yes on that one.
Okay, good.
We're so similar, Jackie.
You know what? We're not too far off in the signs. That's how we are.
What sign were you? Virgo?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
My husband's a Cancer.
Oh, really?
He just had his birthday Wednesday.
Oh, happy
mine's
birthday.
on 11th.
Happy birthday early.
Yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday, Jackie. And tell
Yes.
Paul happy birthday.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Is everybody finished with that one? Does anyone want to share what they got?
I got a yes.
Mine is a yes as well.
Good.
Wow, all of us.
That's amazing. My cat just jumped up here. Okay.
I got a yes on that one.
Good. That's awesome. 90s. No, you got to get down.
I got a duh. No.
That's so funny. All right.
I think everybody does.
Oh
Some
my God.
people just haven't learned how to develop it yet.
Exactly.
Mine gave me a no.
It's lying to you.
So remember, this is not a truth or lie. This is a belief.
Do you believe you have psychic abilities? Or, I mean, that could be just the belief of it.
Yeah, it's the belief.
I truly, I think well, I know I believe I do. I'm 22, and I just kind of have been going through like a whole spiritual puberty.
Yeah.
And so I'm settling more into it, but I definitely know now, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so subtle that you question it, you know? Like you're, oh, is that really intuition, or was that my imagination, or did that really just happen?
Especially
starting out. Huh?
I said, especially the way things come in flashes. I think it's because it's been happening more frequently as of late. You know, it's just been a bigger jump here lately. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Trusting, allowing, surrender, believe, likely, and confident.
It's showing the muscle testing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Whoops. Thank you for telling me.
Absolutely.
What's after safe?
Trusting, and then allowing, surrender.
Got it.
So you're also going to write above these words your main goals. So what I would do is get, like, I trust myself. So if that was your lowest one, or you got a no on that, your goal on this will be to trust myself, or to trust my intuition, or however you want to word that to make it make sense for you. And this, guys, too, you can also use with like anything. So like I've used this for like clearing blocks around making money. Like, you know, I never felt like I was deserved, or that I was could charge money, or I guess deserved it, or was good enough for it, or all of that. So like that was my goal, let's say, for the top. And then you go down and you see, so this is something you're just going to like let drop in. You're not going to think too much about any of these. That first thing that drops into your head, you're going to put down. So how much do I feel like I can get that? How worthy do I feel? How deserving? Oh, sorry, that's miss or typo. How deserving, how safe, how trusting, like allowing. So how much of all these things do you feel? Like just get that first number between 1 to 10.
And is that as far as are we plugging in like the trust in things like that, or is this just in general?
So like on this one, for this exercise, we're going to do one of the beliefs that we just muscle tested for.
Okay.
But you can later on down the line or whatever do it for whatever you want.
Gotcha.
This is like a really good way to do shadow work and stuff on yourself, because when you're using, you know, when you're just taking the numbers that pop in, you're not with your conscious mind, you're with your subconscious. So your subconscious is going to let you know which one of these things you need to work on in order to get to that belief, or to clear that belief, or get to your goal.
I think I'm struggling a little bit with this one, and I'm sorry.
No, that's so as of right now, all you have to do is write down your goal and the words, and then we can go through them all together, because I want you guys to just do it really quickly, not to think about it.
Excuse me.
So, like, Jackie, what belief did you put for your goal?
That I'm not, or I'm trusting myself, you know, where I got to know on this.
Okay, so we're going to do trusting yourself. So maybe we could play with the wording a little bit. So your goal is to be able to trust your psychic senses and trust your intuition, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how much do you think you can get that out of 1 to 10? What drops into your head real quick?
A 5.
Good. So go ahead and write that. And then how worthy do you feel to get that?
That's less.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Definitely like a 4.
Okay. So that's fine. Remember, don't think too much about it. Whatever drops in, how deserving are you to get that?
An 8.
Good. How
Nice.
safe does that feel?
It's safe. probably have to be more of a 3.
Okay. That's okay. Go ahead and write that down.
Now, as far as the trusting portion of it, I think that's where it's definitely going to be a 1.
Yeah, right. Because we're already working on trusting. That makes sense.
Allowing myself.
How much do you feel like you would allow yourself? Yeah. Okay.
Surrendering myself, that's definitely a 4. Believing it, that's definitely an 8.
Good.
So I believe I can do it. It's just that initial first step.
Yeah. It'll get easier for you, I promise. The more you practice, it's hard in the beginning because you are excited and you do believe you can do it, but it just feels like it's not happening quickly enough. Like, I know that was my experience anyway. Is like I wanted it all to be exactly how I wanted it right now. Like, I wasn't appreciating the journey.
Yeah. How likely am I? Probably a 7.
Good.
And that confidence of being able to trust myself, it's a 10 on that.
Good.
So I'm confident enough that I can do it. It's just, like I said, that step.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I actually also did the trusting myself one, and my numbers were a little everywhere. It's interesting as far as getting trust. I was feeling about a 7. As far as my worthiness, I know for sure I'm worthy, so that was a 10.
Yeah.
The deserving, that was a 6. The safety of it, it's the safety. So the safety of it that dropped down to a 4. The trust of it that dropped down to a 3. The allowing of it, it's that it goes back to that block, that being able to receive. So that one definitely dropped down to a 2. The believe, that came back up to a 4. The likelihood of being able to do it, that one I gave myself a 9. The confidence of it, though, I gave myself a 3. And then the surrender, that was a 2. So it sounded like I'm really just kind of stubborn and wanting to do it, but I know that I can.
You know that you can, right? So that's important. That's really good. How about you, Sharon?
I don't even want to go there.
No way.
I've got beginning, I got a 5. Worthy, I got a 2. Deserving, I got a 2. Trusting, I got a 1 because I don't.
Right.
Yeah. And safe, I got a 1. Allowing, I got a 4. Surrender, are we allowed to have a 0?
I mean, if that's how you feel.
I am not the girl to surrender. Like, it's just, no. Believe, I got a 10. Likely, I got a 3. And confident, I got a 2.
Okay. How about Christy?
Sorry, I had to step away for a second to deal with something, so I'm a little lost. I apologize.
No worries. So did you hear anything about this exercise at all yet?
I got through the other list where we were doing the yes, no on the limiting beliefs, and I wrote down this, but I wasn't sure exactly what we're doing. I missed that part.
Yeah, no worries. So for this, we're taking the belief, one of the beliefs from the sheet that we did before, and turning it into a sentence to make it a goal. And then we're just going to go down this list, and you're just going to see what pops in on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 would be like you're, really worthy of getting it, and 1 would be you don't feel worthy at all of getting this goal. Don't think too much about it. Just like real quickly, see what number pops in for you. And take your time.
So you're going through the list, and you're saying like, do I actual goal in my head, or just anything?
Yeah. So like, let's say on your muscle testing sheet, you're working on being open to receiving, right? So then your goal would transfer over to here to say, my goal is to be open to receiving. Like, how much do you feel like you're going to get that? How worthy do you feel? How deserving do you feel? Do you understand?
See, for mine was on trusting myself, but I trust my intuition.
Yeah.
I just don't trust.
Right, and that's
my ability to communicate, or something's in there that I don't trust.
Maybe we could figure out what that thing is. Like, what's the difference there?
Shark test.
feel so much better. Okay.
You can concentrate now?
Yes, I was like sitting here like this. I'm just going to go. Okay. All right. So, Christy, are you done with your numbers?
I'm working on them.
Take your time.
I think she said don't overthink it. Just write down the first number that pops into your head.
So real quick.
Okay. And we're doing the ones where we had an issue, right?
Well, you're just going to pick one. So if you picked, let's say I'm open to receiving, and then your goal translates over to this sheet, like you have to make it a goal. So it would be like, my goal is to be open to receiving. And then you just quickly go down the list. How much do I feel like I can get that? 6. How worthy do I feel? 7. How safe does that feel? 4, and we're going to find your lowest number.
Okay. So if I think I'm not good enough, when I did my testing, I could do that. And I just go down here and how close am I getting to feeling good enough, worthy, deserving, that sort of thing.
So maybe this will help. What belief is it that you're working on?
I think the one that stood out to me the most was keeping this part of me a secret. I feel like my family doesn't understand this sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely tough. So how do you think you would turn that into a goal? So you don't feel like your family is very open to this. You don't know if you can be open. So maybe your goal would be, to feel more confident to opening up to your family at least, or anything else you think. How do you feel about that?
Okay, so some of them I have, but not everyone. So maybe like 10 is the best and 1 is the worst.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. So 10 would be, I'm super worthy. I know I'm going to get this. I definitely deserve it. You understand?
Okay, yeah. So getting price 5, worthy thing.
Oh, you're fine.
Weird. Yeah, like 5, 5, 8, 2, 2, 3, 3, 8, 5, 4.
Okay. All right, good. So what I want everybody to do is go for their lowest number. If you have 2 that are the same, just pick which one you'd rather work on. Eventually, like what you'll do is want to work on all of the numbers that are below 7 so that they're all above 7. And then that will put you into a better state for manifesting this thing that you want. So we have to raise our vibration, right? So part of raising your vibration is getting rid of all these lower feelings, like feeling unworthy and undeserving and unsafe and unconfident. So this is just a little tool to help you release these things that aren't serving you so you can raise your vibration and get to this point where you're manifesting what you want or your goal. So you take your lowest number. So let's say for me, what is my lowest one is always worthy or trusting. So I'm going to do worthy. So my lowest number, let's say, is worthy. So I'm going to close my eyes. So you guys we'll do it together. So close your eyes. Do you have the one that you chose? Does everybody have that one?
Lowest is surrender, but I got issues with surrendering. I'm not the give it to God type of person.
Yeah.
I need to have some control.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? So what was you're working on trust, right?
Mhm.
So can you surrender to yourself, to trust yourself? Or how does that make you feel?
Well, why would I surrender to someone I don't trust to begin with?
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, how about this? Would you surrender to your intuition?
Oh, yes, any day of the week.
Okay. So close your eyes, and I want to know what's the difference. Answer this as quickly as possible. What is the difference between you and your intuition?
My intuition is guided by something other, bigger, and way wiser than me.
Okay. Do you feel like you're guided by that same force?
Only when I surrender to it. What an asshole. Sorry.
And around we go.
You know what, though? The sad part is I actually understand what you're saying, because that's exactly the answer I would have.
Yeah.
Because whenever I pull up a chart or my cards, I am surrendering. I just never looked at it that way.
Right.
I am opening myself up to the other.
Yeah.
And I am completely confident in it. I trust it. I love it. And I surrender to it and let it take over me.
You just can't know you're surrendering to it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I'm never going to be able to do it again. Shit. No.
Don't even start that belief. Wipe that clear right now.
No.
I mean, but yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, because I have the trusting as one. So it's like, I trust myself completely, but I also don't trust myself completely unless I'm in that state of mind that I'm completely overtaken by my God.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you guys
exactly.
And I can't like have the goddess out all damn day, because if I do that, I'm gonna for sure be burned at the stake.
Right. Oh God, it's gonna be like, okay, now I got other people there.
You know.
I think part of it comes with the faith in other people, because it's like when you, like what you were just saying, like you would have that goddess out all day, but other people would, feel some kind of way about it.
Exactly. And I sure as hell don't trust nobody. So for me to trust somebody, it's like I have to be like, you have to be like there with me in that part of my life to be actually able to trust you.
Yep.
And to be able to do that, then I have to be able to rely on you, and to then be able to rely on you, then I have to have faith in you. And I just don't like nobody.
So in a sense, is it that we're not trusting ourselves, or is it that we're not trusting our surroundings, and we're not trusting that we'll be safe if we allow ourselves to really be who we need to be?
That is a really good question.
I think it's the second one for me, where it's like I'm afraid if I do trust myself enough to allow myself to be who I need to be, then I'm going to cause a whole bunch of problems for a whole bunch of people.
But wouldn't that eliminate all the people who truly keep you from being who you're supposed to be?
That was so beautiful, Sharon.
Yes, but then it could also eliminate people that I love.
I've had that happen, where people that I love just cannot, and I still love them, but they are no longer part of my life, and I'm so much better off for it.
Yeah.
See, I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's a hard thing to do. Not everybody's the same. You're a Cancer. I'm a Leo. It's easy for me to walk away.
And see, I'm emotionally driven.
So
yeah. I'm an emotionally driven person, and it sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely feel you, because I'm a Scorpio, and it's hard for me as a Scorpio to let go of things and to let people just receive my energy. So I really take other people very, very serious and very, very personal. I don't mean to, but
but that's just who you are. That's fine.
Drawn.
And that's good that you guys already know this stuff about yourselves, right? So this next step will actually help everything that you're feeling right now. So remember, in the beginning, it was, find the feeling or the emotion. So now we have that. We have our lowest number here. So I want you to then close your eyes, and we're going to imagine turning that number up. If you can feel this sensation in your body anywhere, stay focused on that. But I want you to picture that you're turning up this number. So if you have a 3, you're going to turn it all the way up to 10. And I'll count you up, right? You can just jump in at what's that?
I said it feels so scary. I'm about to cry.
It does. And you know what? Okay. Beautiful. This is exactly where you need to be then, because what's happening is this energy blockage is starting to move up and out. Crying is the biggest way we can release trapped energy. So if you feel like you're about to cry right now, absolutely 100% go with that as we turn this number up.
Okay.
Ready? 2, 3, 4, 5. While we're turning it up, I want you guys to just notice anything that gets in your way. Any thoughts that come up that prevent you from turning this number up. 6, 7, 8. Any feelings, any memories. 9, 10. And if you notice anything come up, even just a feeling, just find that sensation in your body. Now stick with that sensation.
For me, it's like as we started turning the dials, it's like this block came and it just wasn't trying to let it turn anymore.
Yeah. So what did that block feel like? Did that remind you of anything that you've ever felt before in the past?
It definitely felt like pedal to the metal, but the metal's not trying to, like, for some reason, like the car is in idle, but I have my foot on the gas.
Yeah. So where's that going on in your body? Where are you feeling that? In your chest, in your belly?
It's kind of in my legs somehow.
In your leg. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what I want you to do, what?
I just wanted to say I've been doing some reading as far as what different emotions manifest in the body, and the legs are responsible for like walking, moving forward, so progression.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that I'm not trying to allow myself to be receiving, and it's manifesting in my legs.
Yep. You see how that works? That was beautiful that you put that together. Do you have that? Is that Lois Hay book?
I've actually been. I think yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But I read it from an article. I saw it on an article, and they did a whole breakdown on it all, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
But what got
so incredible.
Started on it, like I was rubbing somebody's back, and there was like a huge knot, and I was like, nah, this isn't just a physical knot.
Yeah. And you felt that, like, even before you had any type of training or anything like that. This is all just intuition, right?
And then I was like, all right, pulls out phone. What does this mean? And then that article came up. So
yeah.
Danielle, that's not normal.
What?
That's not normal to feel those things.
No, not every. I mean, it's not that it's not normal, but not everybody feels it. Not everybody's going to.
Sorry to jump on you, Danielle. I'm so sorry. You can tell me to shut the hell up if you want, but we're taught at a very early age that these feelings are not normal, and we learn to repress them. I was very fortunate to have a family that encouraged them, but we are taught from the get-go, don't say that, don't think that, don't feel that. People
don't get
will think
angry.
You're crazy.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. I think so. For like me, when I was doing, you were turning up the dial here, I was feeling it in my chest.
Okay. All right, good. So we're going to go to the next step now. So
can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
For me, it was weird. It wasn't a resistance. It was like chills all across my shoulders and through my throat, but like somebody was softly touching, like goosebumps, chills.
Okay.
And it felt like a release instead of a resistance. Is that normal?
That's good. So that's that energy starting to release. So I want you to stick with that feeling. Amina, you're going to stick with the feeling in your legs. Jackie, you said you're going to stick with the feeling. Where did you feel it in your chest?
Yeah, it was like right here in my chest, and it was.
So that feeling in your legs, your chest, and your shoulders. We're going to turn that up all the way to 20. So starting at a 10, make it more intense. Make it so intense that you can barely take it. And this is where you might end up starting to feel some crying come out too. So turning it all the way up, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're letting all of the thoughts come up with it. We're going to feel it and pay attention if it moves. We want to stay with this feeling so it goes up and out. I forgot what number I was on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Really letting that feeling take over. 17, 18,
Well,
19, 20, and we're going to feel it as long and as intense and as long as we can. Stick with it. And just notice when it starts to go down. If it gets hard for you, really start breathing through it. Help that energy move through you and dissipate. And just breathe through it until it's totally gone. And just take your time. For some of you, it might be gone really quickly. For some of you, it might take a while. Either way is totally fine. Everybody's body is different. And if you're somebody where it's already gone and you want to move to that next feeling or emotion or low number on your chart, go ahead and do that.
Mine is feeling like I'm in a hole and I can't move, and I'm not really sure what to do as far as moving past it.
Okay, all right. So where are you feeling the feeling in your body?
I'm still focused kind of on my legs, but it's like it kind of radiated, like it's like a black like a black hole. I'm just kind of floating in.
And so you're floating around in this black hole. Okay. So tell me what you're feeling in your body. What sensations, what emotions are coming up for you?
I'm feeling alone.
Okay. So say for me, I am alone, and tell me where you feel that in your body.
I'm alone. I think that's where the fear is coming from, because I'm not moving because I'm scared that it needs to be released.
Yep. I just want to remind you that you're totally safe. You know, this is only going to be for your benefit. But just check in with your body and make sure it's okay.
Okay. I just sat up. I feel okay.
Okay. All right, good. So wait, to turn it up and release it, or you're already okay?
No. We can turn it up and release it.
Okay. All right. So about how intense is that feeling right now on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say about a 7.
Okay. All right. So we're going to turn it all the way up, just like the volume dial on a stereo, all the way up to 20. So stay with that feeling. Stay in it. Focus on it. Get in that fear. Turn it all the way up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. Letting all of those thoughts come up with it. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. Really letting it take over. 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Feeling that as intensely as you can now for as long as you can, and stay with it. And just let me know when it starts to go down, that feeling.
I don't know if it's going down, but I'm being presented with I'm not allowing this reception energy. I'm not allowing myself to be receptive, because anytime I've been receptive, people walk away.
Right. So you have resistance around it because you don't want to lose anybody. Right. So where do you feel that resistance in your body? That should be an energy as well.
Well, I'm feeling it in my back, and I know that the back is the back of the heart is what they call it.
Yeah.
And so it's representative of the past. It's representative of things that have happened before.
Yep, absolutely. So can you stick with that resistance and we turn that up so you can release it? Is there any other emotions, first of all, coming up?
That's the most prominent thing that I'm feeling. I'm also kind of feeling it a bit in my sacral chakra, but I know that's kind of just part of doing stuff like this and manifestation and everything.
Yeah. So are you still feeling the fear, like, intensely at all?
It, it doesn't, I don't know if it's fear or more of like a lack of feeling safe, or like a lack of wanting those boundaries even crossed, because it feels like a waste of time to even allow myself to be receptive.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely, it sounds like you definitely have some blocks just around, how other people are going to react. So I just want to make sure, though, is that feeling of fear and you being in that hole, is that still with you, or is that gone?
No, but now it's like I'm kind of like by myself in like a deserted area. Like I'm seeing like canyons and stuff like that, and I'm seeing plants and stuff. It's feeling like hunger. It's feeling like desolate.
Okay. So do you ever, like, do you meditate at all?
I do.
Do you have, like, a spot that you always go to, like somewhere where you feel really safe?
I do.
Okay, so start thinking about that. Let's merge these two things together a little bit. Let's bring your safety into this sphere.
Okay.
And take your time. And thank you, everybody, so much for being here to support Amina going through this and releasing it. It's not easy.
My cat just came and joined the party. She's sitting next to me.
Aw.
Oh, you're not alone, Mommy.
Okay, so what's happening in your body as you're starting to merge these feelings together?
My shoulders are starting to feel lighter.
Good, good. Just breathe through it. And tell me when all that yucky, heavy fear and all of that start to just fade all the way down.
I feel like I'm telling myself over and over again, like, you're an adult now. It's okay.
Maybe try telling yourself, try putting a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly, and just tell yourself, I am safe. Say that like a mantra. I am safe. I am safe.
I'm safe. I am safe.
Does that feel like that helps at all?
It does, but then it feels like it's like the snail going back into the shell. Like, okay, yes, I'm safe, but like I'm safe over here. Nobody needs to come over to the shell.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But I need to get past this so I can be more receptive.
Yeah, definitely. But yep.
That's when I'm feeling the shell.
That's pushing it away, and I think the whole point of what Danielle's doing is allowing ourselves to feel it so we can actually tackle it head on. And instead of saying, I'm an adult now, maybe it would help to say, maybe I'm not always an adult, but I am who I am, and this is who I am, and I accept it now.
That's beautiful. How does that make you feel, Amina?
It feels comforting. It does.
Good. Good.
And I think that I've held on to feelings of maybe not feeling like, maybe it's like when I open up and I'm vulnerable in that way, that's where I feel like I can't be receptive, because like when I'm receptive, I have to, it's like almost like an obligation to be vulnerable, and that's when people leave, kind of thing.
Yeah. So do you see how you just were able to put all of that together? Like, you let yourself feel it. You got this beautiful, like, learning or knowledge around just letting yourself feel it. Like, and there's your lesson. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you feel now in your body?
Well, my legs are kind of shaking a little bit, like they're trembling, like they're like, I'm hearing you and we want to move, but we're scared.
Yeah. Drink a lot of water too, Amina. You're going to need that to help this energy kind of move out and through you. Now you stirred it up, right? So you have to like keep drinking a lot of water because it'll be flowing through you or trying to release over the next couple of days as well. So I do want to mention too to everybody that like doing this, you might have a little bit of like a healing hangover.
I don't know if I'm not. Like when we were turning it up, I could just, that anxiety just flared up so heavy.
Yeah.
And it just, I could feel tears just coming.
Yeah.
And for me, it's such an overwhelming, intense and scary feeling. Because I know I'm supposed to trust myself because I'm the only person I can physically trust. But yet it's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Because if I fail at something, then everything else fails.
Then everything else fails, you said?
Yeah.
Why
because so many people rely on me.
I see. So you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah. And it's like I can feel it. Like there's this heat inside me. And it's just or like almost like having an antacid attack. You know, it's just like it's just burning.
And you're feeling that in your chest?
Yeah.
And what emotion could you attach to that feeling?
Total sadness in myself.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So can we turn that up so you can release it?
It hurts to release.
I know. It does. But the thing is, right, it's going to hurt to release it for just a few seconds so that you could feel better for longer, right? Here's a fun fact. When we feel an emotion, right, there is studies that show that emotion will only last for 90 seconds. What keeps us stuck in it is the inner monologue. It's the story we tell ourselves. It's the things that we just keep thinking over and over and over again. But that actual emotion only has to last 90 seconds and we can release it and clear it. Not saying that's easy to do because God only knows I'm not great at it, but that is a thing. So if we can figure out how to do that, so sticking with the emotion, as scary and as hard as that is, if we can be brave for just 10 seconds, we can release it, we can get it up and out, and we can move on. We can release these blocks. And then maybe you won't feel so uncomfortable. How do you feel about that? I don't want to push you into doing anything you're not ready to do.
I need to do it. I've been trying to do it for years.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, I'm so good at helping everybody else.
Right.
It's just who I am. It's like when Amina was talking, it's like I could feel her pain.
Yeah.
I could feel the burningness in my face. And it just hurt me because I felt it was hurting her.
Yeah. Yep. Do you do any you're probably like a super empath, like just being a Cancer.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything to like protect your energy or
I wear so much hematite.
Yeah.
Between the hematite in my pockets on me, it's like, and I was talking to Mystic earlier about getting some black obsidian and black tourmaline.
Yeah, black tourmaline.
Yeah, and I'm working with Micah as her apprentice, and we were talking about the astrology and how when I start reading the charts, that it's going to affect me a lot because I am engulfed in so many people's like emotions or like their energies and stuff, and it's just started to flare up a lot since my husband left.
Right.
It's like that big trauma that like a PTSD or something like that. it's like those traumas that affect you in your life just flare up some sort of inner light in you. And it started back up again this week. Because I think I had suppressed it for so long, being married to him and hiding who I truly was, never allowing my light to shine. And now that I'm starting to allow it to shine, I'm embracing it more, but it's bringing on all of this energy. And I can't always separate the good energy from the bad energy. Yeah. I'm just, come at me, I can handle it.
Yeah.
And normally, like, once a week, I have to, like, take this hot bubble bath full of salt just to absorb all of it.
Yes, right. That works, though, right?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I say something, Danielle?
Yeah, no, of course not.
As empaths, too, we feel compelled, very compelled to help the people around us because we feel them. And we often forget to take time out to repair what we felt and to be able to separate it. And it sounds to me like right now the bulk of responsibility for everyone around you, especially your family, is all on you. And because you're that deeply empathic and so compelled in that feeling of responsibility, instead of feeling that guilt, take it as I am doing something for them by giving myself time to recuperate. Does that make sense?
It makes total
sense. Like you can't pour from an empty cup.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it is hard because we feel so much guilt, like we're being selfish. But it's not selfishness. It's what is that word? It's
self-love.
Yeah.
Self-love and self-protection so that you can take care of the people. Because if you keep going like you are, your body will force you to collapse and you will lose all control and it will be horrible and you'll feel even guiltier. So when you feel those guilty moments of, oh my God, I'm eating a piece of chocolate when I should be giving this chocolate to my kids, even something as simple as that, chocolate releases endorphins and really, like scientifically, gives you some kind of boost of energy and not just the sugar. It could be sugar-free chocolate, has healing properties. Don't feel selfish. You've got to take care of yourself. You are the primary hunter and gatherer in your family right now. If anything happens to you, they're screwed, and you know that. So the best way to keep that from happening is to make sure that you are taken care of. And that includes, especially as an astrologer, this is people you don't know too, and you're taking on all of their energy. It's right there in front of you, dancing off the chart into your blood. The baths are perfect. Chocolate helps, trust me. Not like amazing quantities of it. Little things that you can do for yourself. I know you don't want to buy yourself a pendulum because you think that could be socks for my kids. But think of it as some way to use that energy a little less personally. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. It really does. Thank you.
That was beautiful advice, Sharon. Are you okay, Jackie?
Well, have you ever done egg cleanses?
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
They're super good for, especially like when you're so empathic, you're able to look right at it and see exactly what it is that's going on. Even if you're throwing it in the back of your head, when you look at that yolk, you can oh man, I know exactly what that is. So
sometimes that's a great idea.
So happy.
I have done it. I'm predominantly drawn to Hispanic men, and in Hispanic culture, they like to use those eggs. So I've done those several times, and they always end up like rotten afterwards.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because you hold it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do.
You might want to make that
hard.
like a weekly practice too. Then, if you hold it on.
You know what? It's interesting because until I found this group, I wasn't able to bounce ideas and questions, and I literally have nobody here. And so I started trying the research groups here in Chicago, and there's not a lot of people out here that believe the way you do without, looking at you differently. And so it's been hard. It's been tremendously hard. And I talked to my best friend, and he's probably been the only one that's actually been understanding and receptive of pushing me and to take those, that little hour to go get my nails done or whatever the case might be. But it's still like, as I'm sitting there getting my nails done, it's like, okay, I could have took this money and went somewhere else and did this with it.
Right.
And it's like, I know I need that money to get gas because it's $100 here, fill up a tank of gas to Chicago.
Well, what if you had like, a routine for yourself? Like, you agree to allow yourself to do one thing for yourself per week, whether that is your nails, going out shopping, like getting yourself something you've liked. If you can't do it every week, once a month, but that way you don't feel guilty about it. It's in your budget.
It's sad. I can't go outside without feeling the energy of everyone around me.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship with like
so a God? Overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
It's like
my mom, and this really helped when I was a teenager. I'm sorry, Danielle.
That's okay. Go ahead.
My mom bought me a deck of tarot cards. I was 16, and it was because I had gotten to where I couldn't even know what emotions were mine. I was feeling everybody around me. I didn't even know how I felt. And she said, use these to shield yourself. Do it to where you consciously make an effort to where you only have that open, wide reception when you have your charts out for reading or when you have your cards out. That you're only, build a wall around yourself. It's a conscious effort. Say, no, I don't accept this. And you'll feel guilty about it at first because you feel I'm an empath. I'm supposed to accept this. But when it's everyone around you in the store, on the street, and you getting all these flashes and feelings from them, that is incredibly harmful because there's no way that you can use that to help them. You don't know how many people I've gone up and, hey, what can I do? And they're like, who the fuck are you? I'm like,
I experienced that quite a bit. So I have to, like at work, I have my wall up. When I'm out with my kids and stuff, I have my wall up because if I embrace it all with them around me, then like my youngest will feel it.
Yeah, your youngest is an empath.
Yeah, he's definitely my oldest. He has a gift. He just kind of tuned it out a lot and stuff because of his ADHD. He just like completely doesn't deal with it. My daughter, she has it. She's a Cancer as well. So it's like my middle and my baby, they understand what I'm going through, and they kind of like, okay, hey, mom's having a moment, let her stop. Or I'll like be sitting there somewhere and I can have a conversation, and then all of a sudden I start to hear these voices. And I know it's like my ancestors talking to me. And it's like, okay, they're sending me the energy that I need to have to kind of block myself from everything else around me. But yet at the same time, it's like, okay, it's still a little overwhelming. So I have to block them out too,
So you don't have to block them out, though, Jackie. You can just ask them, right? So a lot of times we forget that we're in control of this. Like when you start hearing things, if you don't like them, from what I understand anyway, all we have to do is be like, I don't want to do this right now. Or do you have a relationship with like a guide or an angel or a deity of any kind?
She's got a goddess.
Yeah, the water goddess is mine. I mean, she comes to me whenever I need water. And
that's perfect.
That was interesting when you told me to drink the water earlier. Because I hadn't had very much water today.
Yep.
And so that was, I mean, whenever I drink the water or whenever I'm like in the shower or in my bath and stuff, it's just like I did that aha moment.
Yep.
I call it, and I could be in there 10, 15 minutes, and the next thing I know, I'm higher than a kite.
Yeah. Well, you can ask her too, like in these situations when you're out, to cleanse you of everybody else's energy. So you already have this relationship with a water goddess, like cleansing. So ask her when you're out and see if she will just like ask her, and then that feeling will probably just kind of melt away. You just feel it kind of lift.
In addition to the tourmaline, get yourself a small piece of aquamarine and carry her with you.
Aquamarine, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I had recently bought, it's probably been about a month and a half. I got a chakra bracelet, and since I wear it every day, and when I wear it, I'm good. I'm real good. There's moments where, you know, it kind of is like, okay, maybe it's not working the way I want it to work, but I can still at least detect it.
Right.
But if I don't have on my hematite, if I don't have hematite in my pockets, with the crystals in the pockets as well, I'm like a nutcase.
Yeah.
And like I said, it started back up like in October. That's when he left, and it's just been flaring. And my best friend, he'll tell me all the time, he goes, I can see your light. I can see it. It's so bright, and everybody sees it around you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when my boss sees me, what's wrong with you today? You know, they automatically know something's off about me, you know, by just my mannerisms and everything else. And that is how it's been for me since all of this has started. It's like I'm embracing so much.
Yeah.
And I was telling Alex that I'm so grateful for the college. I'm so grateful for everybody I've been meeting, because it's like I can feel everybody, and I release energy to people, because it's like I need to, you know, and it's like I'm not releasing negative energy. I'm just turned it around and just started releasing positive energy.
That's beautiful.
But the problem is I'm still embracing too much of it, that I can't get it out of my system quick enough.
So I think that's what your goddess will be good for. When you start to feel like that, overwhelmed, asking your goddess to wash that off of you, and grounding. So like picture yourself, do you know what grounding is? Or
yeah, I do meditation. So for me, I practice shamanism.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And so and that's why it's weird, because that's why I think it's so easy for me to hear the voices sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I can just, like, I can sense the people, and I've been places that I've never been to in my dreams, in like in my meditational state, and I sit there, and next thing I know, it's the next morning. You know. And that usually is every morning and every night. I have to meditate, because if I don't, I cannot function throughout the day.
Yeah. Are you attuned to Reiki?
I watched one of the classes the other day online, because
get attuned to Reiki.
Most of the time are in the mornings or in the afternoons when I'm at work.
So Reiki is like a type of energy healing, but Reiki energy only flows one way. So when I got attuned to Reiki, I stopped picking up a lot of everybody else's stuff. And a lot of other empaths have had the same experience. Because it only goes one way. I mean, some people say you won't pick up other people's energy at all anymore. In my experience, I still pick it up a little bit sometimes. But it's probably more likely when I'm like way too attached to the outcome of the situation. But it will definitely help you stop picking it up. It's almost like having this shield around you, and then you can also use the Reiki for protection.
And so one thing, go ahead.
So, but getting into that though, I mean, would I still be able to heal the people that need my healing?
Absolutely.
Even more so.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, would I healing energy?
Would I lose that ability completely? Like if I know somebody that, would I lose that ability?
No, not at all. Nope. You'll still feel all of it. Your energy is protected.
Okay.
And one thing that I can recommend that I do, and you feel like you have a lot of explosive cardinal energy, and you are Cancer, that is cardinal energy, but you also feel like you suppress the explosiveness, that you're always trying to be a bit
conservative.
Yes. But I think something that helps with me a lot You'll have to warn your children. Mommy's okay. But once a week, if you're not comfortable just screaming, and I mean actively screaming, and not like pain screaming, but get the fuck out of me screaming, you know, get out. When I get overwhelmed by other people's energy, I let my family know there's going to be some noise. Don't be alarmed. And I go in my room and I face the bay window and I intentionally say, just anything that's not mine, get the fuck out. And
that's amazing and that you do that.
Really helps.
Yeah, seriously. That's a great way to release energy.
Explosive energy inside of you. It's so healing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great advice. How do you feel about that? You think you could do that, Jackie?
I definitely could.
Yeah.
I have no problem screaming.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
And do it from your chest, not your throat.
Like your belly, your gut. Yeah.
You know what? That's where like all that pain is at. Is in my chest, and I know that there's other reasons, obviously, for it all being, you know, all that trust issues I have and everything else, but it's like that agony. It's an agonizing feeling.
Yeah.
Let it out. Let those screams be agonizing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful.
And
oh, hey, kitty.
And Jackie too, about like, you know, you said you're feeling, you know, very alone and you don't have people you can talk to there. But I just want to assure you, like, the more you get into all this stuff, the universe will send you your tribe. You will meet your tribe. It's going to be crazy. Like, all right. So I felt the same way you did a couple of years ago. And I actually met Sharon. She was one of my first spiritual friends that I met. We never would have met without the internet. We're still great friends. You know, she's in a whole nother state. We've never even met in person, but you will find your tribe. They'll somehow just find you. You know, and you're doing it now, right? And you have all of us.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Jackie, I know you just met me, but I need your address because I believe I have something that belongs to you. Let me go find it. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh.
I ordered it several years ago and I did not connect to it. And I think I was saving it for you.
Aww.
That's sweet.
Let me find it.
So while you're finding that, real quick, I just wanted to wrap this up. I'm sorry we went a little bit over.
I'm sorry we went over class.
No, you're fine.
This has been amazing, Danielle.
Oh, thank you. This has been, you guys are awesome.
I needed this today, Danielle. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, Jackie, I found it.
Okay, I want to see this. I can't really see. What is it?
It's a blue ball.
It's a ring.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And it's that Caribbean stone
Color,
that looks like the ocean.
That is beautiful.
Let me see if I can find a light so you can see it. It's a beautiful ring, but I didn't have the connection to it that I thought I would have, and I would love to send it to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. That is like the prettiest gift in the world. Wow. This is just so beautiful to witness.
So beautiful.
I just didn't know who it belonged to, and I believe because it has this, that it can only be found in the ocean of the Caribbean, and it looks like the ocean. And I didn't know who it belonged to. It's been waiting for you.
That's beautiful.
I don't think it's very often.
Well, it's a good thing you're working on being able to receive.
And I think that your goddess sent it to me to send to you.
Thank you.
So if you're comfortable later with giving Danielle your address to give to me, I'm slow getting out to the mail, but it belongs to you and it's going to make its way to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You are phenomenal. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember the name.
So I just wanted to wrap this up because we did go over. But so what you guys will do when you are, you know, you're going through these emotions, right? You want to try to get all of them up to, we're like, I'm not sure if this, okay, so there's three, sorry, this is my thought process. So there's 3 rows here. So normally we would, do that one test, turn it up, and then immediately after do the second row again, and we would see if the numbers went up. So do you guys mind if we just do that real quick, just to make sure at least that one you worked on went up?
Yes.
Okay. So go down the list again. How much do you feel like getting, worthy, deserving, safe, all the way through, and just make sure that that one you worked on went up. I would like it to be at least to a 7.
So you said we're going through and we're redoing our numbers?
Yep, just the numbers on that second column.
Okay.
And a lot of times people will notice that like more than just the one you worked on will have gone up. Like just that little bit of a release was enough to move quite a few of the numbers up. So I'll be interested to see how that works for you guys. And then, you could just keep going from that point on. And then you would go to the next one that is under 4 or under 7, and you would find that in your body, and you would turn that emotion up. And then test it again. I won't make you guys do all that here because I know we're a bit over, but.
Danielle, I have to go pick up my kids, so
okay.
I'm going to drop off, but thank you so much. I feel like I didn't realize I missed the first couple of these, but I'm going to try to do more of these because this was really great.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Christy.
It was great meeting you, Christy.
Lovely to meet all of you. Take care.
You too. Bye. Have a good night. All right. So, does anybody have their numbers finished? Were there any changes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's hear. If you guys have to go, you can just tell me, and we'll stop. I'm only going because I just kind of am curious.
For me, the trusting went up to a 5 from a 1.
Great. That is a beautiful jump, Jackie. How does that make you feel?
And it feels a lot better because I think obviously crying helped me to release all that crap, but it's like I have to force myself to be confident in myself, in my ability to trust myself more, because if I can't trust myself, then I can't perform the ways I need to perform.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So it definitely went up. Allowing myself, obviously, to trust myself went up from a 4 to a 6. Surrendering from a 4 to a 6. Believing I stayed about the same at 8. Likely 7 still. Confident. I still have all this confidence in the world,
Good.
Some people call it, egotistical, but I'm just confident.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm confident, but not yet in the same factor. It's like I'm telling myself I'm confident. It's not the reality of actually believing.
Yes. Totally.
Make it till you make it.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly how I do that quite a bit.
It's a great saying.
Getting started from 5 to 6, worthy from 4 to 7. I know I'm worthy of it. It's just having to believe that I'm worthy, and having to accept that I'm worthy, and having to remember that if I wasn't worthy, I wouldn't have been able to been given this gift to begin with.
Yes.
Good point.
Yes.
And then deserving from an 8 to a 9, and safety from a 3 to a 6. And I think the safety went up so much just because it's like, as I was talking about it and releasing it, it's like I felt like a big blanket was put over me.
Beautiful.
And so I thank you for that, because it's like, I don't know if I would have had that today with everything happening. I don't know if I would have been able to embrace that part of my goddess without having this class today. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so happy you came. I really am.
I'm happy I took off work, not for the reasons that I took it off.
Well, now you know why you did. You had to come find your ring.
Well, you know what is interesting, because my grandson Orion, he was my little fire starter. He was born in March, and he was.
Oh my God, I'm just kidding.
Don't ever be sorry for feeling.
Yes, never ever.
Honey, that's something I'm not allowed to do in life.
Well,
you are.
Whoever
here.
told you that is wrong.
You're a Cancer, honey. You're all feeling. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know what? I know there's nothing wrong with it. It's just for so long, I always have to be strong, because if I'm not strong, then I'm weak. And if I'm weak, I get used. So therefore, I can't be weak. I have to be strong.
How about boundaries, Jackie?
I don't know what that word means.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like that's probably gonna.
One.
But that's probably gonna be something.
You should do a class with us on boundaries.
that's
Maybe.
a word. That's a no word.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you to start looking in.
And all of a sudden, you're not nice anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And no is a complete sentence. So we'll have to talk about that. Boundaries and using no as a complete sentence.
We got to do those in the evening.
Huh? You know what? I might switch it to the I might switch it to the evenings if if more people will come up. Then yeah, definitely. I'll talk to Alex.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely. I would love, like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch the second class completely through, but I definitely need to watch that one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the last one was fun too. We did a couple of it was a meditation class, so we just did a couple different types of meditation.
Wow, that might have killed me.
That's why I didn't tell you about it. However, you probably would have liked it, because it wasn't just that kind of meditation, like still your mind meditation. I was talking about all the different ways you can meditate.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that one.
Yeah.
It was a what kind of meditation?
So it was. I was just saying the last class was meditation. I was just talking about all the different ways that you can meditate. It doesn't just have to be like close your eyes, sit still, quiet your mind. Like a lot of people's form of meditation, like especially somebody who might be like an Aries or a Virgo, like somebody who will have a hard time quieting their mind and stopping their thoughts. Art might be your meditation, or working out might be your meditation, or taking a walk outside might be your meditation.
Mine is daydreaming.
I think yours is, daydreaming. Well, obviously, I'm not going to tell you what yours is, but I think that one of yours is those beautiful headpieces that you make.
I can't do it anymore. I can't use my left hand.
Oh, my gosh.
I can use it. I can move it. I can't feel anything. And all those little tiny jump rings.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Mine is Dragon Blood Sage.
Ooh,
yeah.
I've heard of that. Everybody keeps talking about that.
I get the little incense cones, put 3 of those bad boys in, and I'm higher than a kite. Can't think of anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we need to find you one of those little. They got the little incense burners that's got the dragon head and the smoke comes out of it.
Oh yeah.
I have a sea serpent one. It's like a dragon.
Oh, awesome.
Well, that suits you better, the sea serpent.
Yeah.
I have the 3-headed dragon one where it's like you open the bottom and then you just stick it in there and then it just kind of
comes out the mouth.
Oh my God, how cool! I gotta get one of them.
So cool. Just staged my house before we started just with the dragon's blood too. That's really interesting. You said that.
Yeah.
See, that's so funny.
I love the dragon's blood. That I use white sage incense and I'll use pale santos. All 3 of them sometimes at the same time. I have a whole house smell.
I do love
and pissing off a whole bunch of people.
The right one.
Sharon, how were your numbers? What was the difference?
Okay, you're gonna be happy with this, I think. My getting went.
As long as you're happy, I'm fine.
I feel so good, Danielle.
Okay,
this
good.
is amazing. My getting went from a 5 to a 6. My worthy went from a 2 to a 7. My deserving went from a 2 to an 8.
Wow.
My trusting went from a 1 to a 4.
That's good.
My safe went from a 1 to a 4. My allowing went from a 4 to a 7. My surrender thanks, all of you, went from a 1 to a 9. Which I need to work on because it made me realize that I'm already surrendering. I just have to trust that my higher power will travel with me when I surrender.
Yeah. They give you everything you need.
Yep.
My belief stayed a 10. My likely went from a 3 to a 7, and my confidence went from a 1 to a 10.
Oh,
that is so amazing.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling seeing that change?
I feel amazing.
Good.
I feel good. I feel like I found a piece of my tribe that I was missing.
You, and I'm so sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly.
Amina?
Amina.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not saying your name incorrectly because I keep seeing anime when I see it, and I'm so sorry about that. No, because I've seen you, Amina, on a couple of the classes, and this is the first time I've actually seen Ms. Cheryl here. But honest to goodness, I am so happy. You guys have made my day like tremendously. So thank you. And
well, we're so happy that you're here too.
I feel so.
I feel low.
Yeah, like free, and like the instinct in me is just like, oh, like rainbows here.
I'm so happy for all of you. That's incredible. Amina, how were your number changes?
My number changes. Woo. So for getting, I went from a 3 to a 5. For my worthiness, I went from 7 to an 8. From servingness, I went from a 4 to an 8.
Yeah.
So I really started realizing, I think the picturing everything was super, super important for me because it took my safe from a 2 to a 9.
Oh,
so
my
actually,
gosh.
Being able to see, put myself back in, for trusting, I went from a 3 to a 6. So, I definitely still need some work there, but,
That's still great, though. That's a great improvement. Yeah.
I was stuck there for a second again, but it went from a 1 to a 4. So it needs work too, but it's, for believing, I went from 2 to a 5. From likely, I went from 4 to 9 because I absolutely have faith that I can get myself moving, especially after doing the exercise and seeing exactly where it was at. For confidence, I went from 2 to 6, and for surrender, I went from 3 to 4.
So that's still great. Massive improvements in everybody. You guys need to give yourselves a huge round of applause. I am so proud of all of you. Seriously. This shit is hard, right? It's not easy. Like, it's not easy feeling all of this shit, but you guys did an amazing job. And here you are 2 hours later feeling lighter and happier and better for it. So just real quick, in the rest of the packet that you got or that you're going to get, there is some journal prompts in here to start doing some shadow work. If you wanted to dig deeper. And if when you're digging deeper, anything comes up that you feel stuck and need help working through, please always reach out to me. No matter what time, I will always be here to help you work through anything that comes up. So one of them is an actual journal that you can print out. And then the other one is some journal prompts called Shifting from Ego to Soul. And they're just little questions that you can ask yourself. What would my soul do? How would my soul act in this situation? If you're in a crappy situation and you don't know what to do, like just asking yourself, what would my soul do? Sometimes helps. So just some things like that on these other worksheets, and then opening up to a higher potential. And then, like I said, the other one is a journal to shift your limiting beliefs and have radical acceptance. That was a mouthful. But yeah, anybody have any questions or anything that they need answered? Or
I just want to say I truly, truly, truly appreciate you for putting this all together, because this was so the skill that it takes to be able to get into the hard stuff that nobody wants to talk about is everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You really was phenomenal.
You just made my whole day. This was like a big deal for me too. I just did like a whole career shift. So you have no idea what that comment just did for me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't mind me asking, what was your career shift?
I used to do hair, and then during COVID, I had a shop and I lost it. It got shut down, or it didn't get shut down. I just couldn't afford to keep it open. So I was doing all the healing stuff in the back. I had like a back room, but then I just decided to like walk away from the hair altogether and focus on the healing center stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. I have a healing center where I do like shadow work, like this kind of stuff with empaths and tarot reading and astrology. And I love it. But, you know, sometimes that doubt slips in and you're like, was this a massive mistake? Should I be restarting?
That's when you have to come outside that box.
Right.
It's hard. And especially like for me, HR and stuff, it's just like, it feels great. You know, but that's where I have struggle interviewing all these people on a normal basis and hear about all the baby mama drama in the interviews.
Right. You know? And you get everybody's complaints and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. It's oh my goodness. That's why I wear so much hematite, just so I can focus on a normal basis and keep that wall up. But there's that one person that comes in for that interview and says, oh, I need this job, but I got fired from my last job because I was late every single day.
Do people actually say that? I don't
Oh,
doubt
honey, I cannot begin to tell some of the stories I've heard.
Oh, God.
So
your heart's going out to them, but your logic is saying no.
Not a bit when you show up for that interview 20 minutes late. Not a bit.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
So they even showed up to the interview late?
Yeah.
I need to know who that is. That might be my cousin. I know they're related to me.
I have those things. If you're 5 minutes late to an interview that you should be 10 minutes early to, then you've already been late. You're not going to get this job, honey. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But some of us truly have a broken space-time continuum.
I like that one. If I'm on time, I'm already late.
See, like,
I want to think like that, and I really, truly try to get everywhere on time and a little bit early, but it just like, my gosh, it never works out that way.
Oh, no, all my clocks in my house are all 10 minutes fast.
That's probably smart.
My last physical job where I actually had to go to work, I would make extra special effort to be there early. And every flipping time, I kid you not, there would be this train, not even a half a block away from my job, that would just stop and sit there. And I would be 10 minutes late. And my boss could hear that train. And when I'd walk in, he's like, yeah, I know. Just never mind, Sharon.
I'm like, that's like the biggest pet peeve of mine. Or they come in there and then say, well, do I have to finish filling out the application? You have my resume. I wouldn't have gave you the application if I didn't need it filled out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's multitask here a little bit. I'll ask questions, you fill it out.
Like can't you bend the rules for me?
Scorpio in your chart?
Yeah.
Scorpio, they will die before they're late. Normal Scorpio.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Yeah, Scorpio hates to be late.
That is so interesting.
I had a lot of earth signs in my chart when she did my chart. It was
now
horrible.
I'm dying to see y'all's chart.
I know, right? We'll have to do that one time.
Mine was horrible. I have no love life ever again. And
maybe we can work it into... Hold on, Sharon. What if we did we could do one together where maybe we're working on something for I'm trying to think how I could tie that into a class. Like working on maybe something like I was going to do like a future healing, like we go into the future, get advice from our future selves, but maybe since we're going into the future, we could do the birth chart then.
Interesting.
That would be interesting.
How do you feel about that?
You know, Cancers, we like to live in the past.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's all about tradition.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm very in tune, like, I told my best friend the other day, I was like, I can visualize us in certain time frames, in certain periods. I can see him. And then he's gotten to the point now, and I don't know if it's me projecting it onto him, but he embraces it. And he can tell me things, and I can see everything that he's telling me. And so it's just like, wow, so yeah, that would be awesome to do.
Yeah. And what you just said about the last chart that you got, that pisses me off. That somebody told you that you'd never have a love life and that.
Oh no, I know I won't ever have a love life because all the people that I've had in my past, as far as relationships go, were all damaged.
Okay, that sounds like a limiting belief to me. Just saying.
See, what I would do with that is to see what kind of damage that you subconsciously search for, and we can see that in your chart.
I'm trying to fix everybody. So I'm a mother. I'm a fixer. I fix things. It's broken. I try to fix it. When it's not broken anymore, it goes away.
Somebody told me that the outside is a huge reflection of the inside. And so you can't take the people that you were attracting at that time when you didn't know what you deserved. You know what I mean?
Recording stopped.
Yep.
That's what you were attracting at the time, but that's not to say that you're not able to heal in the future and that you're not able to get something better in the future.
You know what? It's interesting that you say that because my best friend told me that the other day too.
Oh.
Yeah, and he told me, he's like, you're going to meet somebody, and when you meet somebody, he goes, they're going to be your equal. He goes, and not have them trying to be over you all the time and, like, suppress your goddess. He goes, because every relationship you've ever been in has always suppressed who you were.
You need one that will honor your goddess.
Yeah.
Honey, you tell me where he's at, because I need him.
I'll tell you what, when you work... Jackie, I promise, when you work on healing, like that shadow side of you, like that part of you that's holding on to all of that, I'm telling you, I promise you, your whole vibration will raise and you'll start attracting things like love into your life.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I need to attract them because Mama needs a man.
And as far as broken, and this is off a damn video game, it made me cry so hard. I always thought I was broken. And I always thought, it's okay if you're broken, baby. You're beautiful.
Oh my gosh, he is the best.
See, he earns points for that one, even though he did call you ghetto.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ghetto part. I made it all better.
That was messed up.
I think he used the word ghetto because if he had used the word white trash, I would have punched him. I'm okay being ghetto.
That is really funny. So, guys, I have to hop off. You guys can stay on and talk if you want. I don't have to end it. I can just leave.
I was supposed to be working and doing edits.
My ex-father-in-law has been calling me for the last 10 minutes. So I usually call him at 5 o'clock when I get off work, and he's probably wondering where I'm at.
Oh, he's probably worried.
All right, you call him.
Yeah.
Amina, do you have any?
Sorry. Just a regular padded envelope. It's it's silver, so it might need a little cloth to it because it's been sitting in my jewelry box for at least 4 or 5 years. It's been waiting for you.
Thank you so much.
Did you guys exchange phone numbers or addresses and all that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. So
good.
I'm putting that in the mail. It'll be going out first thing in the morning. I'm just going to pop it in the mailbox.
Well, if my new family wants to hit me up on Facebook, you can hit me up on Facebook.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jackie, I wanted to, so my guy came to the room and he heard you talking a little bit. He kind of wanted to say something too. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't really here for all of it, so I didn't really hear any of your background, or, any of your story or anything. But, me and my mother went through quite a bit, and it's very easy for me to recognize like a hurting mother, like without knowing anything about her. And it was just like, I came in right as you were saying something about like having to be strong and things like that. And like you started it off with, I'm never going to love again, which just obviously told me some man did you like my dad did my mom. Mm-hmm. And, I personally witnessed that and went through it myself, And then I heard you say I have to be strong. And it's just like, what I would hope you realize is that you don't have to be strong. You have certain things in your life that just give you strength.
Wow.
Oh.
You have strength in you. You are strong, and you just don't realize it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're fine. It's like people think being strong means not feeling anything or not hurting or not feeling down or depressed, but really being strong is feeling all of that and deciding to keep going.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you. You were right.
Can you start coming to class too?
What'd you say?
Love again. I could see where, like, I don't know you well enough. I feel like there's a lot of pain in that statement, but my mom says the same thing. At first she would say things like that, and it was due to pain. But then eventually she was like, I just don't want no man. I was like, I mean, I played you. You know, it's like she's like, I'm good with my son. She's like, I got 4 big men in my life already. That's plenty for me.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
oh, that's amazing.
Feeling, then I would say, more power to you. But if it's out of pain or feeling like you're not worthy, you can't let other people's projections affect you. Because when people are
so
treating
smart.
you, that's just them projecting how they feel in their life.
That's
true.
That's about themselves.
Exactly.
About how they feel about
and misery loves company. They see somebody that at a higher plane than them in some kind of way, they want to bring you down.
Yeah.
Always.
But you can.
Thank you.
You were letting them.
I can't let anybody win.
There's totally somebody out there who will see the beauty of your light and want to bathe in it.
Yep.
Oh, honey, I need them to come and bathe in it. That's